After he had indirectly helped lead the police to another failed scheme of Seymour and helped arrest Charlie, James had become pretty fucking entitled and self-important, even more so than he was before. He regularly cut in front of other engines like Wilbur at the water tower, hoarded coal at the coaling plant, and on top of that, decided to move into the sheds at Harlem Heights, which were clearly designated for engines under repair. Despite that, James loved the top-notch air conditioning and just how damn comfortable everything was. But all of that was about to change. 3 boss hog wannabe stoners had convinced the Sodor Mining Company to help them go strip mining in Harlem. As James puffed into the yards nearby, he called to them, "Keep it down, you dicks! I need to get some sleep."
"Excuse me, Mr. James,"
called Toad,
"but Mr. Oliver told you those sheds wouldn't be the best for sleeping in. If you forgive me for mentioning it."
"With all due respect, Toad," replied James as he turned around on the turntable, "but I know everything about this railway. Now I'm going to get some sleep. You peasants can work when it doesn't annoy me." James needs to learn to shut up and let us do our talking.
Yeah, let's bump him into tar wagons next time. What do you think, Scruffy?
Scruffy remained silent and said nothing at all. Just then, Oliver came in to see everyone looking almost depressed with society. "What's going on?" he asked. "Is James being a jackass again?"
"Correct. He thinks we can only work when he's not nearby. He was made aware that those sheds were only for engines under repair, and he's still hoarding it."
And for the rest of the night, all anyone in Harlem Heights would talk about was that James was acting like Tom Green, except he wasn't being funny. But the next morning when James puffed out of the sheds, he saw something odd he would give everyone a lot of fresh shit about. "Driver?" he asked. "Where's my turntable? I need to get my coaches soon." "Oh, it was stolen," yawned his driver. "Oh wait, the workman will investigate when the mining company leaves in a few days then." "No, call the police now. This is like the story of a woman's driveway that got stolen." James's driver rolled his eyes and called the cops. A few minutes later, he said to James, "The police say the workman here will investigate since it's not your property. Suck it up and I'll get a low loader to pull you to the station." James was mortified at being ignored, but just went with it. A lorry soon collected him and he was put back on the tracks, exit the station, where Stepney had shunted his coaches into place. "I'll make the police pay attention to me," huffed James. "I'm the original red engine on this island. I'll show them." But he picked the worst time to do this. Douglas had stopped at the crossing just outside Harlem. James's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. "Can't an engine even stop at a crossing without being hit?" huffed Douglas. "I guess not. This will delay my meeting with Donald at Miners Holt. This is so shit." "What are you up to now, James?" asked Henry crossly. "My turntable at Harlem was stolen," replied James, "and the cops are ignoring me. I'll show them." "That is not your turntable, James," Henry snorted. "It's public property, and those sheds are for engines under repair. Here's some advice. If you want the police to pay attention to you, just be yourself. Work hard and be humble. I know that's who you are at heart." Henry had good intentions, but James, being James, misinterpreted this vastly. Tarek soon arrived with the breakdown train and helped clear the mess. He then examined James. "Your back driving wheels are broken," he smiled. "I'll get ready to take you to the works." "No thank you, Tarek," puffed James snootily. "Henry said I'll need to work hard to get the police to notice me. And that's what I'll do." Henry snarled. He loved James, but was getting sick of his smug and daft nature. Soon James was scheming up Gordon's Hill. He struggled more than usual due to having a broken wheel. I'll get to the f***ing top of it. It's the last motherfucking thing I ever do. He shouted and coughed. His fire burned like it was the Hunger Games, and he soon got to the top. But as he went down the hill, he lost control due to his broken wheel and flew off the line at a bend. Luckily, no one was killed. His driver and fireman inspected him. "You damaged your brakes and need new wheels among other things," says fireman. "Now you really will have to go to the works." Tarek arrived once again this time to take James to the works. But this time, James was unusually happy. "I'll be able to get redesigned into my punch-track version, like Henry is now," James cheered. "I'll get pretty privileged, and the police will finally listen to me." "With all due respect, James," puffed Ashima, who was nearby, "you are acting like one of the daftest engines ever, and Henry would say the same thing if he was here." James was unfazed and simply laughed. James came back a few days later with a fresh new look. "Hello, Henry," he whistled. "I'm back, and I'm in my pun-track form. Now the police will pay attention to me." Henry was seething with rage at James's insane commitment to get the police to notice him, but at the same time was thinking about how to help him. Unfortunately, James's redesign didn't do much for him. After he tried to get the police to notice him again, they threatened to arrest him if he called them again about the turntable. James was feeling down. He decided to leave Harlem entirely and go sleep in the sheds at Callan, and decided he would resort to drastic measures to get his turntable back. Yes, I know he's being delusional. The next morning, his driver couldn't show up as he had a bad fever, but James wasn't expecting the substitute. It was Seymour in drag, and somehow only James could see it. "Hey James," said Seymour, "I've heard about your turntable thing and I know how desperate you are, and I have an idea." He signaled to Henry, who was passing through the station with the FBI train. "That's it," gasped James. "We take the FBI train tonight, then the police will notice me." "Attaboy," said Seymour, "and since Melissa will be on the train helping load and unload the FBI equipment at each station, I'll be able to get her to fall in love with me at long last." Before long, James had been coupled to a goods train and set off after Henry. Before long, James arrived at Wellsworth Yards, where he dropped off the last of his trucks and went to go talk to Henry. "Hello, Henry," he whistled cheerfully. "Where are those coaches going?" "I'm taking them to Tidmouth Bay," puffed Henry. "Tomorrow I'll be pulling these." James puffed away, very excited about getting the attention of the police. That evening, Henry dropped off the coaches at Tidmouth Bay and went off to Knapford Harbor to collect the flying kipper. James, meanwhile, had other plans. He snuck out of Tidmouth sheds and up to Tidmouth Bay, with only Seymour in his cab. "Wait here," whispered Seymour. "I'll go cause a ruckus and be back out. This will be the best f***ing night of our lives." "Hey Melissa, it's a great party tonight. I just noticed Seymour's in your room with Mike."
"He's up there with my son? Let me go drag his ass down here."
On this video, I'm being completely honest, and don't take that as a bad thing. That's objectively a good thing. Save yourself from all this nonsense.
You are actually shitting me. You get let out for some reason, then you're back to downing drugs?
Hi, just let me finish this episode, then I'll go on our first date.
No, you're not going to hurt me or my family again. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get your ass downstairs in 5 minutes, I'm going to personally drag you to the police station and have you arrested for violating your probation.
Before I go, can you just get me my Diet Coke out of the closet?
Since you're drinking something other than wine or beer, I will.
"Seymour? Seymour, what are you doing?" asked Melissa nervously. "Before we go on our first date, honey," moaned Seymour, "I'm taking Mike for some quality time. He'll wake up with me on the FBI train. Don't you dare take my son, you drunken clusterfuck! I'll shoot you! Sprechen Sie Schlang.
Open this damn door.
Melissa, it's me, Jessica. What happened to you?
Seymour locked me in the closet and stole Mike. Great. He also left Mike's phone here so I can't track him.
I found some security footage of him leaving with James, Ames replied Jessica. He locked Mike in a coach.
He thinks he can screw with my family?
"911. Oh shit, moaned Seymour. Here come the piggies. And he came to a stop at the station at the force of a signal. The police got out and approached him. Well, chortled one of the cops. If it isn't Seymour Futz. What's the problem now? Sighed Seymour. That child in the coach was reported stolen, and we're taking him home. You're coming with us. Don't worry, brother, it's my girlfriend's son. Now give me a minute. Oh! We got a 594 in progress. Watch out, Solo. I'm the most important engine. Look at me now. What you are watching right now is live footage of an FBI unit stolen by a steam engine being pursued by police. We're receiving word now that the driver is former Tidmouth Correctional Facility resident Seymour Futz. Screw you, piggies! If you want us, come and get us! Hello?
Do not lay one more finger on my son or I will assassinate you.
Come on, sweetie, forget about the stupid kid and let's go out together. And how'd you even know I was in this situation?
Because I'm watching you on international television with the rest of the world. It's a miracle your parents haven't disowned you.
Who was that on the phone? Asked James as they sped through Marin. It was Melissa, said Seymour. She's pissed at us for taking Mike. We kidnapped Mike! Gasped James as Seymour switched them onto the Peel Dodger line. I wanted to attract the police, not kidnap a child. Fuck that, smiled Seymour. We'll lead the police up this line and cause a crash. No, we need to stop and give Mike back. This is wrong. But in a few minutes... The cops will love this! Seymour yelled as he slammed on the brakes. Hey, Melissa! Seymour yelled at the news helicopter. You want to go out with me now? I'm invincible to anything! Then he looked at the cops. You tasteless pigs! The dipshit drunk bitch snapped. Just look what your driving did to my beer. Now I shall have to steal some more. Things happened pretty quickly after that. Seymour was arrested and held in a maximum security prison in Vickerstown until his official sentencing in January. Mike was returned to Melissa safely, and Henry soon arrived to rescue James from the bridge. James was taken to the works where he and Henry would work out some serious relationship issues when Henry visited him, but that's another story.